Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it today. Today I wanted to talk to you about a headline that I saw that says VA reaches $1 billion in grants. And so I wanted to dive into it, see what they're talking about, and see how it will affect us as the veteran community and where this money is going to be going. So $1 billion is not a small amount of money. So curious to get into it a little bit more. This just came out, so let's see what they're talking about. Please hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff, because it really helps to get the information out there. All right, let's see where we start. This month, VA's National Cemetery Administration awarded its billionth dollar to states, U.S. territories, and tribes for the establishment, expansion, improvement, and maintenance of state, territorial, and tribe veterans cemeteries. So, for those that don't know, what happens is you have your federal cemeteries, which are housed under the VA's umbrella. So remember, the VA is a three-headed monster. You have your VBA, your Veterans Benefits Administration. This is where you're filing for your VA compensation and so forth. You have your Veteran Healthcare Administration. This is where you go get your blood work done, x-rays, all that good stuff. And then the third one is cemeteries. So you have your veteran cemeteries through the federal side all over. Then, in addition, the VA grants money to states for state veteran cemeteries. So the states that have state veteran cemeteries, those are not 100% funded by the state. They put in some of it, but they also get money from the federal government, from both a construction standpoint to from construction to rehab to even internments. The VA will reimburse the state. So it's not 100%, but it is some money that's coming in to the state from the federal government. So the milestone was reached with a grant of $1,860,775 to the state of North Dakota for the expansion of the North Dakota Veterans Cemetery. And let's see what else it says here. These grants are awarded through the Veterans Cemetery Grant Program. Since the beginning, in 1978, the program has provided 475 grants to 122 states, or to 122, so 475 grants to 122 state, territorial, and tribal veteran cemeteries, leading to more than 800,000 total internments for veterans. This fiscal year, they're probably looking at both, like columbarial for ashes and also internment into the actual ground. So they're probably counting all of that. In fiscal year 2022, these cemeteries and the VA National Cemeteries conducted nearly 200,000 internments combined. So in that year alone, that's huge. Veterans interned in state, territorial, tribal veteran cemeteries receive the same burial and memorial benefits provided to veterans in VA national cemeteries at no cost. This includes a gravesite, opening and closing of the grave, care of the site, and headstone, a government headstone or marker, a burial flag, and a presidential memorial certificate. And I've done a video on this in the past. These memorial certificates are great. So if you have a family member who had served, you can get a presidential memorial certificate. You can get 5 of them, 8 of them. It doesn't matter. They're awesome. Also the headstone and the markers. If somebody has just a very low level bought for by yourself marker. You could potentially go in if you haven't gotten a government marker before or headstone. You can do that. Going on here, it says, veterans deserve lasting resting places that honor their service to our nation, whether that's in a VA national cemetery, a private cemetery, or one of the state, territorial, or tribal cemeteries that the VA supports, said the Undersecretary for Memorial Affairs, Matt Quinn. I truly believe there is no better example of partnership between the federal and the state, territories, and tribes than Veterans Cemetery Grants Program. We are proud to work together to honor our nation's heroes. Between the grant-funded cemeteries and the VA national cemeteries, the department is now providing 94% of veterans who live in the U.S. with an option of burial in a VA or VA-funded cemetery within 75 miles of their home. Veterans entered in the most VA grant-funded cemeteries are also memorialized on the Veterans Legacy Memorial site. This allows families, friends, and others to preserve their veterans' legacy by posting tributes, uploading images, and sharing their veterans' achievements, biographical information, and historical documentation. So that's kind of cool. I didn't know about that. There is some links here inside this article. So if you're interested in any of that, I encourage you to search for it. And you could probably just type in, and I'll copy and paste it into the description, but you could probably just Google search VA reaches 1 billion VA news, and I'm sure that article will show up. In 2022, the National Cemetery Administration once again led all organizations, public or private, in the American Customer Satisfaction Index, receiving a score of 97% based on the index's survey of veterans and their families. This is the highest score ever achieved by any organization rated by the index, and is the 7th consecutive time the administration has ranked first overall in customer satisfaction. And then that concludes it. So really good information. It's important to know and understand that the state cemeteries often fill the gap of distance. So you may have, a national cemetery or a few national cemeteries in your state, and then the state will have the state veteran cemeteries kind of in between those to limit the distance that you would need to go to get to these different cemeteries. So you could be buried closer to home. Your spouse can also be buried. You can also basically advance reserve, for lack of a better way of putting it, your plot or so forth, or column burial or whatever it is, kind of pre-register, taking your DD-214, all that good stuff. I suggest doing that because, nobody wants to, the more that you could take care of things up front, right, it takes the pressure off of other things when we do pass. So that way our loved ones aren't, left with, well, how do you do this and where do you go do that? If you go and you take care of it ahead of time, then it's already taken care of and good to go. But again, the state cemeteries basically have to operate, look like, feel like the VA national cemeteries. So there's a lot of oversight there in order for them to get the funding. So with that, I'll go ahead and end it. I appreciate you so much. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.